Most men are prisoners, and they don't even know it. They sit chained in darkness, watching shadows on a wall, convinced that flickering images are reality. They call this living. They call this freedom. But here is what they refuse to see. Inside every man's skull is a war. Three forces locked in constant battle for control. And in most men, the wrong side is winning. The weak man fears his own mind because he senses the chaos within. He knows that if he looked inward, if he truly examined what drives his every decision, he would discover something terrifying. He is not the one in control. His cravings are. His impulses are. His base instincts are dragging him through life like a beast on a chain. And he has convinced himself this is freedom. So he runs, he distracts, he numbs. Anything to avoid the truth. But what if you stopped running? What if you turned inward and waged the war that most men are too weak to fight? What if you took control of the one thing that determines everything? Your own mind. That is what this is about. The ancient battle for self-mastery. Most men will stay prisoners forever, but you are here because some part of you knows there is another way. Plato showed us that way. And if you have the strength to walk it, everything changes. Plato understood this better than anyone. Over 2,000 years ago, he looked at human nature and saw what most refuse to see. Your mind is not unified. It is a battlefield. There are forces inside you right now, locked in constant warfare, and most men never even realize the fight is happening. They let the basest parts of themselves rule, while their capacity for reason, their capacity for greatness, sits dormant and ignored. This is not abstract philosophy. This is the fundamental reality of your existence, and until you understand it, you will remain a prisoner. Plato gave us the map. He showed us the structure of the human mind, and he showed us what happens when that structure collapses. He called it the tripartite soul. Think of your mind as having three distinct forces. First, there is reason. This is your capacity for logic, truth, understanding the eternal, unchanging principles that govern reality. This is what separates you from animals. This is the part of you that can grasp mathematics, contemplate justice, understand cause and effect. Reason sees beyond the moment, beyond the impulse, beyond the craving. It sees what is real, what is true, what endures. Second, there is spirit. This is your sense of honor, your drive for recognition, your capacity for righteous anger. Spirit wants to be respected. It wants to achieve. It wants to prove itself. When someone disrespects you, spirit is what flares up. When you push yourself to accomplish something difficult, spirit is what drives you forward. Third, there is appetite. This is hunger, thirst, sexual desire, the craving for comfort, pleasure, immediate gratification. Appetite does not think. It does not reason. It does not care about tomorrow. Appetite wants what it wants right now, and it will drag you toward satisfaction with the mindlessness of a beast. Every single person has these three forces inside them. The question is, which one rules? In most men, the answer is appetite. They are governed by cravings, by impulses, by the desperate scrambling need for the next hit of pleasure. They eat when they are not hungry. They waste time on empty entertainment. They chase sexual gratification like addicts. They cannot sit still. They cannot be alone with their thoughts. They need constant stimulation, constant distraction, because if they stopped for even a moment, they would have to confront the emptiness inside them. These men are not free. They are slaves, and appetite is their master. Plato was ruthless about this. He said that when appetite rules the soul, It drags the person down into darkness, into the realm of shadows and illusions. The man ruled by appetite does not live in reality. He lives in a dream world where the only thing that matters is satisfying the next craving. He mistakes shadows for substance. He thinks pleasure is happiness. He thinks comfort is peace. He is wrong. Look around you. Look at the world you live in. It is designed to feed appetite, to strengthen it, to make it your master. Every advertisement, every algorithm, every engineered product is built to trigger your cravings. The entire consumer economy runs on appetite. They want you hungry. They want you impulsive. They want you unable to delay gratification, because the moment you can delay, the moment you can think beyond the craving, you become dangerous. You become uncontrollable. Most men never escape. They spend their entire lives reacting to stimuli like laboratory rats. They see food, they eat. They feel desire, they indulge. They feel bored, they scroll. They are not living, they are being lived. They are puppets, and appetite pulls the strings. But there is another way. There is a path out of the cave. Plato called it the ascent. It is the process of turning away from shadows and moving toward the light of truth. It is the process of dethroning appetite and enthroning reason. This is not easy. In fact, it is violent. Plato did not sugarcoat this. He described it as painful, as disorienting, as a battle that most men are too weak to fight. When the prisoner in the cave is first released and dragged toward the light, it hurts. The light blinds him. His eyes are not accustomed to it. He wants to turn back to the familiar darkness. The shadows feel safer. The shadows feel real. But if he persists, if he endures the pain, if he forces himself to keep looking, eventually his eyes adjust. And when they do, he sees reality for the first time. He sees the sun. He sees the source of all light, all truth, all understanding. He realizes that everything he thought was real was just a projection, a distortion, a lie. That moment changes everything. This is what happens when reason takes control. You stop reacting. You start acting. You stop being driven by cravings. You start being guided by principles. You stop living in the moment. You start living for something greater. The man ruled by reason is not tossed around by his emotions. He is not enslaved by his appetites. He understands what they are. He sees them clearly. And because he sees them clearly, he can control them. Think about what this looks like in practice. You wake up at 5 in the morning, not because you feel like it, but because reason has determined that this is when you need to wake up to accomplish your goals. Appetite wants to stay in bed. Appetite wants the comfort, the warmth, the extra hour of sleep. But reason says no, and you obey reason. You sit down to work, and your phone buzzes. Appetite wants to check it, wants the hit of dopamine, wants to know what notification just arrived. But reason says no. The work comes first. The distraction can wait. You've been training for months, and your body is tired. Appetite wants rest, wants to skip today, wants to take it easy. But reason knows that consistency is what builds strength. So you train anyway. This is not about motivation. Motivation is a feeling, and feelings are unreliable. This is about discipline. This is about establishing a hierarchy inside your own mind and enforcing it ruthlessly. The man ruled by reason lives differently. His days have structure. His actions have purpose. When he eats, it is to fuel his body, not to satisfy a craving. When he works, it is to build something lasting, not to pass the time. When he rests, it is because rest serves his larger goals, not because he feels like being lazy. Every action is deliberate. Every choice is conscious. He is not being lived by his circumstances. He is living according to his design. This is true power. Not the power to dominate others, but the power to dominate yourself. The power to say no to the craving. The power to endure discomfort. The power to delay gratification in service of a higher goal. And here is what most people do not understand. This power compounds. Every time you choose reason over appetite, you strengthen reason. Every time you resist a craving, you make the next resistance easier. Your mind is plastic. It learns. It adapts. If you consistently reward appetite by giving it what it wants, your mind learns that appetite is in charge. The cravings get stronger. The impulses get harder to resist. But if you consistently obey reason, if you make appetite submit, your mind learns a different lesson. Reason is in charge. The cravings get weaker. The impulses become easier to manage. You are literally rewiring your brain with every choice. The question is, what are you rewiring it to do? Most men will never know this power because most men will never fight for it. They will remain slaves because slavery is comfortable. Slavery does not require effort. Slavery does not require discipline. You just follow the craving wherever it leads. You wake up when you feel like it. You work when you feel like it. You eat what you want when you want it. And you wonder why your life has no direction, why you feel weak, why you cannot achieve anything significant. It is because you are not in control. Appetite is. And appetite does not care about your dreams. Plato had a name for the state where reason rules. He called it justice. Not justice in the legal sense, not some abstract social principle, but justice within the soul. Justice means each part of the mind doing what it is supposed to do. Appetite is not evil. It is necessary. You need hunger to eat. You need desire to reproduce. The problem is when appetite tries to rule, when it oversteps its role and attempts to govern the entire soul. When that happens, you get tyranny. You get chaos. You get a mind at war with itself. Justice is the opposite. Justice is order. Reason rules. Spirit supports reason by enforcing discipline, by channeling your drive, your ambition, your sense of honor toward rational goals. Appetite is controlled. It is given what it needs, not what it wants. The mind becomes unified, becomes coherent, becomes powerful. The just man is not torn in 10 directions. He is focused. He is disciplined. He is free. Let me be more specific about spirit, because most men completely misunderstand this part of themselves. Spirit is not the same as appetite. When someone disrespects you and you feel that surge of anger, that is spirit. When you compete and push yourself beyond what you thought possible, that is spirit. When you refuse to quit even when quitting would be easier, that is spirit. This force is incredibly powerful. It can drive you to greatness, or it can destroy you. It all depends on who it serves. When spirit serves reason, it becomes your greatest ally. It gives you the fire to endure hardship. It gives you the pride that refuses to accept mediocrity. It gives you the competitive edge that pushes you to be better than you were yesterday. This is spirit properly channeled. This is spirit in its rightful place. But when spirit serves appetite, everything goes wrong. Your anger becomes reactive, petty, destructive. Your competitive drive becomes about dominating others instead of mastering yourself. Your pride becomes arrogance. Your refusal to quit becomes stubbornness, refusing to see when you are wrong. Spirit without reason is a weapon without a wielder. It is dangerous. It is chaotic. It will burn everything down, including you. This is why Plato said that in the ideal soul, spirit is reason's guardian. Think of reason as the king, spirit as the warrior class, and appetite as the common people. The king rules through wisdom and foresight. The warriors enforce the king's commands and defend the kingdom from threats. The people produce and consume, but they do not rule. When this hierarchy is maintained, the kingdom thrives. When it collapses, everything falls apart. If the people try to rule, if appetite tries to govern, you get mob rule. You get chaos. Every decision is made based on immediate desire, with no thought for consequences. If the warriors overthrow the king, if spirit tries to rule without reason, you get tyranny. You get endless conflict, endless posturing, endless ego battles that accomplish nothing. Only when reason rules with spirit as its enforcer and appetite in its proper subordinate role do you get true order, true strength, true freedom. This is not theory. This is the structure of your mind right now. The only question is whether you understand it and whether you are willing to do what it takes to establish the right order. Most men never do. They let appetite run wild. They let spirit flare up randomly. They let reason sit in the background, ignored and impotent. And then they wonder why their lives are chaos, why they cannot stick to anything, why they feel perpetually dissatisfied. It is because there is no king. There is no order. There is just a civil war playing out inside your skull every single day. But here is what Plato knew and what weak men refuse to accept. This state of justice, this internal order, does not happen by accident. It requires war. It requires you to wage war on yourself. The ascent out of the cave is not a pleasant journey of self-discovery. It is brutal. You have to drag yourself up a steep and rugged path. You have to force yourself to look at truths you do not want to see. You have to confront every comfortable lie you have been telling yourself. You have to face the fact that most of what you call your personality is just a collection of unexamined cravings and conditioned responses. And then you have to dismantle it. This is why weak men fear their own minds. They sense the chaos. They sense the battle. And they know that if they really looked, if they really turned inward, they would have to fight. And fighting is hard. Fighting requires strength. Fighting requires discipline. It is easier to stay in the cave. It is easier to watch the shadows. It is easier to let appetite rule and pretend that your lack of control is just your nature, just who you are. But it is not who you are. It is who you have allowed yourself to become. And the first step to change is admitting that. The battle is constant. Every day you wake up, the war begins again. Appetite wants comfort. Reason demands discipline. Which one wins? That choice determines everything. Understand this clearly. There is no neutral ground. Every action you take either strengthens reason or strengthens appetite. When you hit snooze on your alarm, you are feeding appetite. When you check social media instead of doing deep work, you are feeding appetite. When you eat junk food because it tastes good, not because your body needs it, you are feeding appetite. Each time you do this, appetite grows stronger and reason grows weaker. The hierarchy shifts. The slave becomes the master. And before you know it, you are no longer capable of self-control, even if you wanted it. But the reverse is also true. Every time you do what reason demands, especially when you do not want to, you strengthen reason. You build the habit of self-governance. You teach your mind that cravings do not get to decide. Principles decide. Values decide. Long-term vision decides. At first, this feels impossible. The cravings are so strong. The discomfort is so real. Your entire nervous system is screaming at you to give in, to take the easy path, to do what feels good. right now. But if you can push through that initial resistance, something changes. The craving peaks, and then it fades, and you realize you did not need to give in. You realize you are stronger than you thought. That realization is everything. That is the moment you reclaim a piece of your sovereignty. This is the ascent in practice. It is not some mystical experience. It is the daily grind of choosing reason over comfort. It is getting up when you said you would. It is doing the work you committed to. It is eating what fuels your body, not what excites your taste buds. It is training when you are tired. It is being honest when lying would be easier. It is staying focused when distractions are everywhere. It is small battles fought and won 1,000 times until they become automatic, until reason is so deeply entrenched that appetite cannot even mount an attack anymore. That is mastery. That is freedom. That is what it means to rule yourself. Consider Socrates. Plato wrote about him constantly because Socrates was the embodiment of the philosophical life. He was a man who lived entirely according to reason. He did not accumulate wealth. He did not chase power. He did not indulge his appetites. He spent his days in the marketplace questioning people, forcing them to examine their beliefs, forcing them to see the contradictions in their thinking. Why did he do this? Because he understood that most people live in ignorance. They think they know things when they do not. They think they are free when they are enslaved. They think they are happy when they are miserable. And Socrates made it his mission to wake them up. The city of Athens eventually killed him for it. They gave him hemlock because his questions made them uncomfortable. His refusal to compromise made them angry. But Socrates did not run. He did not beg for mercy. He did not abandon his principles to save his life. He drank the poison calmly because he knew something they did not. He knew that a life ruled by reason, a life lived in pursuit of truth, is the only life worth living. Death could take his body, but it could not touch his soul. That is the power of reason. Now ask yourself this: could you do what Socrates did? Could you give up comfort, security, pleasure if reason demanded it? Could you endure pain, humiliation, death, rather than compromise your principles? Most men cannot even give up a late-night snack. Most men cannot resist checking their phone for 5 minutes. Most men are so enslaved to appetite that the idea of true self-mastery seems impossible. And so, they mock it. They call it unrealistic. They call it extreme. They say that humans are just animals, that we are driven by instinct, that trying to rise above it is futile. But that is exactly what a slave would say. That is exactly the excuse appetite whispers in your ear. You are only human. You deserve this. Why fight it? Plato rejected that completely. He said that the person who lives according to appetite is less than human. He is a beast in human form. True humanity begins when reason takes the throne. Let me be clear about what this means. It does not mean you become some emotionless robot. It does not mean you never feel desire or anger or passion. It means those things no longer control you. You feel hunger, but you eat when it is time to eat, not whenever the craving strikes. You feel anger, but you channel it toward defending what is just, not lashing out at every perceived slight. You feel desire, but you pursue it in a way that aligns with your values, with your long-term goals, with the person you are trying to become. Reason does not eliminate the other parts of the soul. It organizes them. It directs them. It makes them serve a higher purpose. This is the path Plato laid out. This is the path that separates the strong from the weak. The weak man is ruled by appetite. He is dragged through life by cravings he does not understand and cannot control. He mistakes shadows for reality. He lives in darkness and calls it light. The strong man is ruled by reason. He sees reality clearly. He understands his own mind. He wages war on chaos and establishes order. He climbs out of the cave, no matter how painful the ascent. And when he reaches the top, when his eyes adjust to the light of truth, he is transformed. He is free. But here is the hardest truth. You cannot do this halfway. You cannot dabble in self-mastery. You cannot spend 1 hour a day trying to improve, and the other 23 indulging every impulse. Reason must rule completely, or it does not rule at all. Appetite will not surrender power voluntarily. You have to take it by force. You have to wake up every single day and choose reason over comfort. You have to build disciplines and stick to them, even when you do not feel like it. You have to examine every habit, every routine, every choice, and ask yourself one question. Is this serving reason, or is this serving appetite? If it is serving appetite, cut it out. No exceptions, no compromises, no excuses. Plato described the life of the philosopher, the person who lives according to reason, as the only truly happy life. Not happy in the sense of constant pleasure or easy comfort. Happy in the sense of living in alignment with truth. Happy in the sense of internal order, internal peace, the knowledge that you are ruling yourself instead of being ruled. Contrast that with the tyrant, the person completely enslaved to appetite. Plato said the tyrant is the most miserable person alive. Why? Because he is never satisfied. Every craving leads to another. Every pleasure fades and leaves him empty. He has wealth and power and every indulgence, and yet he is tormented because appetite can never be satisfied. It is a bottomless pit. The more you feed it, the hungrier it becomes. The tyrant is not powerful. He is weak. He is a slave to his own desires, and that slavery makes him paranoid, fearful, constantly chasing the next fix. That is the life most men are living. They just do not realize it. You are living in the cave right now. You are surrounded by shadows, the images on your screen, the products you buy, the endless distractions are all designed to keep you there. They feed appetite. They weaken reason. They keep you docile, compliant, easy to manipulate. And the worst part is, you defend it. You defend your right to scroll mindlessly, to binge watch, to eat junk, to waste time, because freedom is supposed to mean doing whatever you want, right? Wrong. That is not freedom. That is slavery. Freedom is when you are no longer controlled by external stimuli, when you can resist the craving, when you can act according to principle instead of impulse. That is what reason gives you. So here is the question. Are you going to stay in the cave, or are you going to climb out? Are you going to let appetite rule you for the rest of your life, or are you going to wage war on it? Are you going to keep watching shadows, or are you going to seek the light? The choice is yours. But understand this. If you choose the cave, if you choose comfort, if you choose to let cravings dictate your life, you are choosing weakness. You are choosing slavery. You are choosing to remain less than what you could be. Plato gave us the way out. He showed us the structure of the mind. He showed us the battle. He showed us the path. But he cannot walk it for you. No one can. This is your war to fight. And it starts the moment you turn away from the shadows. The moment you question the cravings. The moment you ask yourself who is really in control. Reason or appetite, master or slave, human or beast. The weak man fears his mind because he knows what he will find there. Chaos, disorder, slavery. The strong man confronts his mind, embraces the battle, and establishes order. That is the path. That is the ascent. That is what separates those who live in the cave from those who walk in the light. Stop running from yourself. Stop numbing yourself. Stop pretending that the shadows are enough. Turn inward. Wage war. Establish order. Let reason rule. Become free. The choice is yours, and it always has been. Most men will never make it. They will live their entire lives as prisoners, convinced they are free. But you are not most men. You would not have made it this far if you were. So make the choice. Start the ascent. Today, reason must rule. Appetite must serve. This is justice. This is order. This is freedom. Master yourself, or be mastered. There is no middle ground, no compromise, no escape from the battle. Fight it, win it, and become the man you were always meant to be. The man who sees clearly, who acts deliberately, who lives according to truth. The philosopher, the free man, the one who climbed out of the cave and into the light. If you're committed to not looking back, subscribe to the channel. Do not second guess. The path is clear. The enemy is known. The war has begun. Let reason rule. Let order reign supreme.